All right, welcome back a second time. You're listening to Softcore Detachment, the podcast where soft hearts grow sharp boundaries and healing gets gloriously unhinged. I'm your host, Catalina, recovering perfectionist, certified chaos gremlin, and softcore CEO of Emotional Detachment. And with me, thank goodness, is Jonnie, producer, partner in crime, defender of boundaries, and professional glow-up baddie.
Hello. I'm here, finally.
Oh, thank goodness. We had some technical difficulties, but we are going to give this a try. And with us, as always, is Bronx back there, our support creature. Thank goodness. And he's going to help us get very messy. Yes.
Let's do it.
Well, guys, this is a little bit of a dense episode, but it has been highly requested. So we are going to talk supplements. However, we're going to narrow it down to the two, what I feel are the two most important supplements, and that's creatine and protein. And so if you have ever stood in front of the supplement aisle at your local store and felt bamboozled, which is one of my favorite words, and I'm so glad I get to use it. We say it to Bronx all the time, bamboozled. I'm going to hand you a decoder ring because, again, there are only two that I want you to focus on right now, and that is protein and creatine. So here's what they do, here's how to use them safely, and here's why they matter, especially in midlife. Side note, I got told, quote unquote, honey, you're in midlife. Or how did she put it? On TikTok. Anyway, I got told that I was in the middle of my life by a 20-year-old on TikTok. So that was pretty cool. I was really excited by that. Yeah.
That's like some who tell us, oh, you were born in the 1900s?
Exactly. That's how I felt. It was about AI and like somebody was using ChatGPT to cheat on their college exams. And I was like, well, I don't use ChatGPT to cheat on my test. And she goes, well, honey, you're midlife. Or how did she put it? Like, you know, and I was like, oh, you're right. You whippersnappers with your crazy technology these days, you know, like
Only a midlife would say whippersnappers.
Well, and that was the whole point. Like I was joking, like, sweetheart, I sat in line for the first iPhone while I was pregnant with my kid. Don't talk to me about technology.
Right.
Okay. Trust me. I will, I'll mess with you. Anyway, so menopause and midlife accelerate muscle loss. We've talked about this. Our listeners should know this at this point. Otherwise, I have not been doing my job. So both men and women, as your sex hormones decrease, you're going to lose access to muscle synthesis and muscle tone starts decreasing, okay? Especially if we're not actively protecting it. So the more muscle you have, the better your metabolism is going to function. You have more mobility, insulin sensitivity, bone loading, mood. I mean, you're just setting yourself up for the best chances at a long, healthy, sustainable life as possible. All right? Does that make sense, Jonnie?
It makes sense. However, I was hoping what you were going to say today was my two supplements could be the little holiday time Reese's and Hershey Kisses, but it's out.
Or like the little Flintstone vitamins, right?
Try again.
Let's make this as easy and fun as possible.
Not happening.
Unfortunately not. It's not that simple.
I'm bamboozled. Got it.
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But if we create a very simple stack of creatine, protein, and then weightlifting, we are doing ourselves and our future Jody and Catalina's and all of our listener selves a huge favor and setting ourselves up for success in the future. So let's start with protein. Okay, let's make this simple. And I say let's make this simple, but I'm going to start just a little bit complicated and then we'll narrow it down to more simple. All right, we can do this.
Okay.
So for adults, the fitness community and the medical community are going to agree. Now, there are some people who disagree with this, and mostly they're vegetarians. And I can understand that. It's hard to get this amount of protein from plant-based diets. They can usually get away with a little bit less and still do just fine. And that's great. Okay, just do the best that you can. But for meat eaters, here's the target that they're going to be recommending for you. And that's going to be 1 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day as a baseline. Now, I know that sounds crazy, all right?
I'm
But think
trying to do the math and I ran at like I'm not.
yeah,
How?
immediately. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. But here's what that means. For a 160-pound woman, that's about 73 kilograms. That means you're eating about 75 grams a day. Simple as that. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's for somebody who's not, more in line with your goals, for example. You're not trying to pack on large amounts of muscle. You're trying to stay lean and toned and healthy. Now, for somebody with my goals who would like to intimidate men in the gym, okay, I'm going to do an additional 30 to 40 grams on top of that. Muscle synthesis and protein synthesis, muscle mass are really important to me. So I want more muscle. I'm going to do an additional 20 to 40 grams on top of that. For the general baseline for average women, anywhere between 75 and 100 grams a day is perfect. Think of it that way. Let's keep it
Okay.
super simple.
That
Make
is
sense?
simple. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly. And then if you're a super active weightlifting woman, you should know what your macros are. But in general, add an additional 50 grams on top of that. All right, that's per Biomed Central. And as always, when we do an episode like this, all of our stats, everything that we reference, all of that is going to be down in the show notes. So if you want to do some additional research, it's going to be down there. Now, practical. How are we going to make that happen? Here's one of the easiest ways to meet that goal. Think about 25 to 35 grams of protein 3 to 4 times a day. Not that complicated, right?
That's
You can
not
do
that
that,
bad.
Joni.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. But here's what cracks me up. A woman will come in and sit down with me and she's like, well, I had an egg this morning and I had a slice of bacon and I had half a toast. And I'm like, so you had 10 grams of protein so far today is what you're saying, maybe 12, because an egg only has about 7 grams of protein,
Yeah.
And so we underestimate usually, and especially women will underestimate, or rather overestimate how much protein they're actually eating. They're usually under eating protein like crazy.
Okay.
So build your meat or build your meals rather around protein and vegetables. Start with vegetables, start with protein, then go for some carbohydrates, build it from there.
I have to ask though, because I suffer from kidney issues, as I think we've talked about before. And in my left kidney, I lost 40% function in it. Will this sort of goal with protein specifically damage my kidneys further? Is there any science behind that? What's the deal with kidney health?
That is such a great question. In your case, your doctor should have given you parameters. If you have had medical kidney issues, that is something your doctor should have talked to you about and given you parameters of how much protein you should be eating. And if that's not the case, you need to go back and ask some very direct questions. For the average person, eating this recommended amount of protein should not have any effect on your kidneys at all. That's literally the job of your kidneys. That's what they do, is to filter and process. The other myth, and this brings up a great point that I've heard, is you can only consume 20 to 30 grams per sitting. Otherwise, you flush everything else out and it's just waste. That's not true either. Your body can handle massive amounts of protein at one sitting and it will integrate it just fine. It'll use everything that you can throw at it to do muscle synthesis, to do protein synthesis, to do everything that it needs to do with it. So if you can get in 40 or 50 grams in one sitting, do it. And you'll be just fine. Your body knows exactly what to do with it. Okay?
Okay.
I promise.
So
that.
it is a myth then that high protein diets are harmful to kidneys.
Yes and no. Like when we're talking 250, 350, 400 grams of protein daily for years, that's probably going to have an issue.
Okay.
Yeah. But, an average high protein diet is not going to be that bad.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. In addition, one of the things that just cracks me up and kills me is when people say that they need to go on a cleanse for their kidneys. And this is just a side note. This is a tangent. It's one of my pet peeves. Your kidneys are doing that for you. That's literally their job. That is what they do. Let them do their job. Don't interfere with it. You don't need to go on a water diet to cleanse your body. That's what their kidneys are doing. Okay? Pet peeve. All right. So protein. All of that makes sense to you, Joni? Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, there are lots of different sources of protein. In addition to, meat, of course, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, beans, tofu, edamame, and even green leafy vegetables have a pretty fair amount. So you don't have to get stuck in the whole I don't like meat mindset. There are lots of different ways to get protein into your diet on a regular basis.
Does my protein popcorn count?
It does count. It adds up in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we talked about it the other day. That was good popcorn, by the way. And it was like 7 grams in a couple of cups, I think. It was actually really good.
Perfect. And that's,
So it was a
you
good
bring
snack.
up that point beautifully, is it's a snack that adds to your daily total and tally at the end. Now, a supplement is a supplement. It should supplement your whole food diet. So if you've been tracking food for a week or so and you're continually not hitting that protein goal, then you should think about a protein supplement like a shake. Okay?
Okay.
But you shouldn't be just drinking 3 or 4 protein shakes a day because you're too busy to cook or something like that. I see a lot of folks do that. I'm trying to do a high protein diet, so I drink 3 to 4 Fairlife shakes a day. Protein shakes are still pretty highly processed. It shouldn't be the first choice for you, right?
Okay. Yeah, some of the other things we talked about, like I'm not a huge meat eater, never have been. But the Greek yogurt, absolutely, cottage cheese, green leafy vegetables. What I will do, since I'm not a huge meat eater, is like those chomps sticks.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those are quick, easy. I can take them on the go, and it's like a snack, but high in protein. So I do like that.
All right, so let's transition from protein over to the second supplement I want to talk about, and that is creatine. Now, creatine is a little bit different. First of all, it is the most widely researched supplement that is on the market in the fitness community. So I think that's pretty awesome. We know that they have done their due diligence. Secondly, it is the cheapest. I'm not sure exactly how that came about, but the person who created the patent or whatever was just like, take it. I don't care. They're not doing that whole thing that they do where they charge, an exorbitant amount of money for it. It is so cheap for the amount that you get. Now, ATP is like the cash of the cell. All right, so think of it that way. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Ooh, look at that. That was a good one to pull out of the hat.
Okay.
That is the cash of the cell. That is what helps the cell conduct all kinds of business. And so creatine, by increasing phosphocreatine in the muscle and in the brain and on the cellular level, helps you recycle ATP, thus utilizing more of it. So this has been shown to help increase muscle mass over time and cognitive neuronal function. So important for the brain. So you're looking at helping you in the gym, helping you with speed, recovery, and it's showing more often than not cognition as well, sleep, stress, so many different things that we all need help with.
My life in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, we all need this. The most researched, effective, and safest supplements when used correctly.
So I know it's buzzing, it's trending.
Yeah.
I guess specifically for women, because
Yes.
if you're a little bit in the, what did we call it earlier? You're in midlife.
I am,
middle of your
according
life.
to that young lady on the TikTok, I
If
am
you're
middle-aged.
Yeah, if we're middle-aged like us,
Yes.
back in the day, we used to hear that was for men that bulk,
Correct.
that want to get big, or they get fat,
Yes.
or, like large and obese if you take it and don't do anything.
Yes. And you know what you're hearing? That is such a great point, Joni, is because in the first week or so, it can make you retain a little bit of water. And so people did feel bloated, and then they got super scared, and they were like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Okay.
But as we know, we are women. We know how water retaining works. We get that. As soon as you drink a little extra water, you flush that right out of your system, and then you're fine. So you might experience a little bit of bloating, a little water retention in the first week. Push through that, drink a little extra water, and you're going to be good to go.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try it.
Honestly, I need to get back on it as well because and this is something we haven't talked about on the podcast at all, but I have epilepsy, and I think the neuronal component is huge. I wanna do anything and everything to give my brain a chance, a
Okay.
fighting chance. In addition, 2026 is going to be my growth year. I wanna pack on about 3 to 5 pounds of muscle this year, and
Wow.
so let's do this. Let's creatine
Okay.
it up.
Well, remember, like you highlighted a little bit earlier, like I'm just trying to stay lean. And
Mhm.
is this something that would be beneficial for someone who has goals like me?
Absolutely, because it's what you do with it afterwards, right?
Okay.
You're going to take your supplement and you're going to do some very gentle, light to moderate workouts. You're going to
Hmm.
eat, the correct amount of calories and protein for your body. And it's going to help you manage your stress and make the most out of those decisions that you're making for your goals.
Hmm.
I'm going to do something very different. I'm lifting a lot heavier and more frequently throughout the week, and I'm eating more food because those are my goals. And so it's
Okay.
one of those things where, you can use the same tool. It's like using, a hammer versus a sledgehammer, right? They're both
Hmm.
still a hammer, but we're using them very differently,
Okay. Got it.
right?
Well, I look at you in your analogy. Mine, I was going to say, oh, like a flat iron, you can straighten or you can curl with it.
First of all, a flat iron is the only way I can curl my hair. It's amazing. I don't know how that works. It's witchcraft and I love it. It's so cool.
Oh, that was my only relation I could make here. How pathetic.
No, but it's
Mm.
totally true. Like you're using the same tool and getting two very different results. And that's
Mhm.
true for you and I. We can both use creatine and get very similar but very different results. You're not going to get big and bulky and put on big old Arnold muscles because that's not how you train. That's not how you're eating. Whereas I'm going to use creatine and train and eat to put
Mhm.
on big Arnold muscles. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. That's
N
not
Well,
exactly my goal.
is this something because it sounds, I guess for someone like me, again, let's tailor it down. Um, it sounds a little bit complex and like French when I hear it. Is it something that you would recommend if somebody's going to start, they do so under the guidance of a professional?
Not necessarily. No, no, again, super safe. The most widely studied supplement on the market. If you're using it correctly, the scoop is like this big. It's so tiny. You need very little, once a day, just one scoop. And though in the past, a lot of people would do something called onboarding, is that what it was called? Um where they would increase the dosage for the first couple of weeks and then back it back down again to the normal dose. It's not necessary. You do not need to change your dose and increase it um, for the first 5 to 7 days and then back it back down again. It is not necessary. Just do the regular dose, 3 to 5 grams every single day. What I will tell you though is that by itself, it tastes kind of crappy. So put it in a protein shake or some kind of a drink that you make, for yourself.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it is hard to choke down.
Is this something that, like, when you walk, say, into a a soup I'll say GNC, a supplement store or something like that, or even through Whole Foods or something. If you walk down the aisle of supplements, are you gonna see, like, tailored to women, or is it gonna be different? Is it
Now, here's what I will recommend against: do not get any supplement like this tailored to women
okay,
because they increase the price unnecessarily. There is no reason. It's called the pink tax, and it is notorious in the fitness industry. You will get the exact same product when you look at the label and you read the ingredients, the exact same ingredients in a pink bottle for an additional $10 to $20 simply
oh,
because
wow,
it's made for women,
and so I would buy it.
right? And you're like, but it's pink. I'm the same exact way. I'm like, well, then there must be something different about it. There must be something better, or there must be an additional supplement. Maybe there's more calcium. Maybe there's fiber.
Yeah,
But no, it's just the pink tax. And it is notorious in the fitness industry for pulling that kind of crap. So,
okay,
no, all you need is generic creatine. And again, it's cheap as hell. You can walk into Walmart and get it.
okay,
It's everywhere. And they have,
Okay.
every single brand of supplement company will have their version of creatine. And so there are just tons of different options. And there's no real way to screw that up. You just take one little scoop a day, put it in with your greens mix or whatever it is else that you're drinking.
Hmm.
I put mine in with my protein shake after the gym.
Okay. Is there I'm going to try it. Obviously, I have the added bonus of just calling you or sending you a text. Hey, I'm about to take this. Should I do 1 scoop, 2 scoops? Do you just follow what's on the back of the manufacturer's packaging and just follow what it
Correct.
says? Okay.
Yep. The daily recommended for creatine monohydrate is 3 to 5 grams. And that's exactly what the little scooper thing is already pre-portioned out for. You don't need to do a loading or an onboarding or anything else like that. Keep it simple. Just one little scoop a day.
Okay. Well, we
Yeah.
need to follow back up. I know we've got a little bit more to hit on, but we need to follow back up. I'm going to try it and we're going to do a check in with me. And I'm going to tell you, as a first time user, I hate to say it like that. I'll let you know how
We got a first timer. First timer
yeah.
right here.
I'll let you know how it goes. But how do you I guess they call it stacking. Can you stack these two supplements in a certain way? What do you recommend?
And that is such a good way to put it because one of my favorite things to say here is consistency beats timing. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, you work this into your schedule any way, shape, or form where you can stay consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I like to do is keep mine in the freezer because it just, for my purposes, I feel like it stays fresher longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in the morning when I grab my protein shake, the mud water that I've been doing, first thing in the
Mm-hmm.
morning, I pop my scoop of creatine right in there. And then I know that I hit it that day, like just super consistent when I'm on. Right now, I have not been consistent with it. So let's start this together. Like, let's make this
Yeah.
part of our December easing into our New Year's resolutions, if we're going to call it that. Or we'll come up with another word because resolution is kind of a loaded phrase, right?
I
I don't
can't wait to get into that because I fail at that. And I know everyone else that fails at least I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know, and I can't wait to talk about this because what I did for this year was a bingo card, right? And we've
Ooh,
talked about this before, and it was so fun. Like I keep it on my wall right here, like next to the thing, and I got so many of them checked off, and it was fun, and it was and the ones that I didn't get checked off will just carry over into next year.
there you go.
So yeah, there you go,
Hmm.
easy peasy and fun. Um, so yeah, it's one of those things where the timing is not as important as like, with protein, for example, after a really hard, heavy lifting workout, getting protein into your system within an hour is kind of important.
Okay.
It's called the anabolic window. And it's this idea that you need to give your body back the resources to build muscle that you broke down during your workout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With
Okay.
creatine, that's less important. Timing isn't as important as just getting it in consistently every day.
Okay. Is it something where I'm not at this point right now, but if I needed to or wanted to start back on a GLP-1, is it something that is conducive with that sort of
Oh,
medication? Like it what?
yes. Such a great question, Joni. Big time. Because as we know, GLP-1 is going to suppress your appetite, make it harder to eat throughout the day,
Mhm.
and protein suffers because of that, and then muscle wasting happens. And so at the end of the day, creatine and protein supplements are going to help prevent muscle wasting while you're on a GLP-1. So
Okay.
those are great supplements to add in while you are on a GLP-1. Yes.
Oh, that's
Great
interesting.
question.
Okay.
Great question.
So I do want to ask you, and I don't want any naysayers or anybody to get offended when I ask this, but this again, I carry this over from years and years and years. I mean, we're talking 20 years ago when you first started really hearing about this supplement. Is it classified as like some sort of like steroid?
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, no, that's a great question. It's totally true. Like when you would hear, back in the day, in the Arnold days and stuff like that, I take protein and creatine and
Yeah.
arginine and L-theanine and all these things like that. Yeah. Because you can buy it off the shelf at Walmart
Hmm.
and not behind the gym from some shady dude,
Hmm.
you know, chances are pretty good that it's legit. and
Okay.
it's good to go and it's safe.
Okay.
At the end of the
So
day, it's
no.
not a performance enhancing drug.
That
You
I guess
know,
that's what I meant to ask.
yeah, steroids
Okay.
are performance enhancing drugs, and they are, illegal in the lifting and in the athletic world because they give you an insane advantage when it comes to performance. Now, you still have to do the work. You still have to lift heavy. You still have to eat correctly, but it gives you a huge advantage when it comes to recovery and muscle synthesis.
Okay.
However, protein and creatine does not do that. At the end of the day, it's kind of like a support system for a cellular level that is already happening. Processes on the cellular level that are already happening naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like taking vitamin
Interesting.
D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. But that is a great question. And it's a common misconception too. I've heard that as a personal trainer very frequently. I don't want to take steroids. And I'm like, well, then I won't introduce you to that fella back behind the gym. But if you change your mind,
I
he's
love
back there.
that. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, great
Wow.
question for sure. No, no.
So
Um,
is there like I don't know, like I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the internet, but do you have like I guess what I would call it is like a supplements guide or something that I could use for referencing?
yes, the Softcore Supplement Guide. Yeah.
So when are you going to send that to me?
Absolutely. Let's do it. We'll
Why
put
don't I
that in the
have
show
this?
notes. We'll put it in the show notes and we'll send it to you as well. I think that's going to be
Yay.
one of the things that we start making like a part of our regular offerings,
Oh, cool.
especially
Okay.
on episodes like this where we dig deep into scientific information, just like we did for the GLP-1s and the sleep episode, where when folks, after you hear something like this where you want to learn more or you want something right in front of your face that you can reference later. So we will add in the Softcore Supplemental Guide so you can take a look at some of these. And then I'll add in some more as well. Just a couple like vitamins, micronutrients, different things like that that folks might be curious about. We'll kind of fleece that out a little bit, keeping in mind that these are supplements to your food, creatine notwithstanding. As Joni
Hmm.
pointed out, that's something that's hard, it's impossible to supplement with your food. But protein and vitamins and different things like that, the idea there is that you can't get those things with the huge amounts of different vegetables and fruits that you could be eating every single day. It's just impossible. So it's nice to add in, some vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc and different things like that throughout your week. Not necessarily every day. You can literally spend thousands of dollars on supplements, and that's just not necessary. That's kind of silly. So
Hmm.
eat the rainbow as often as you can. Eat as many fruits and vegetable variations as possible. And that's going to make a huge difference. That's how our bodies were designed to ingest fruits and vegetables, is with variety.
Hmm. You must have been holding this supplement guide out for my Christmas present because you I don't have this and I'm
Were
going to
you
need
holding
it.
out on me? What's going on? I was waiting for you to come back to the gym, is what's going on. Eh.
Why are you calling me out, friends? Look,
In
listen.
public.
She held out on me on this supplement guide, okay? She must have was going to wrap it up for the holiday. I don't know. But
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and the other thing is, speaking of which, I'm building these kind of as they come up one by one, and
Mhm.
then I'm going to put them all together in like one little giant. No, we're going to go with
One
that.
little giant.
In one big kind of guide, like the soft core detachment guide, and it's going to have lots of different things like
A
this, and then we're going to
lifestyle guide.
a lifestyle guide. Ooh, I like that, producer. Very well done. And we're going to pop that, for sale, or if you join the inner circle with us and you get to sit and chat with us about fun stuff like this and about your goals and about your dreams and aspirations and how we can help you get there, then all of this stuff will be included. So there you go. That's kind of what we're doing with that.
I am excited.
Me too.
I cannot wait to check back in because if you guys want, I will be the guinea pig. I mean, I'll do anything. Trust me. I will. It's
Well.
yeah, ask my ex-husband,
But I won't do that.
I can't handle this. Oh,
I
gosh.
love it. Oh my God, it's so
I'm gonna try it
fun.
out. We're gonna check back in. I'm gonna really focus on this. I know you're gonna get back into it. Let's just kind of do it together because
Yeah.
I have never taken this, and I really want to give it a try.
Perfect. I love that. Well, and then the other thing to keep in mind, so you're doing that and you don't do any other supplementation or peptides or anything else.
Nothing.
And so what we can do is we'll have you come in to Snap and pop on the InBody, and we
Okay.
will check muscle mass.
Mhm.
And then let's compare. And then it's like you got to go to the gym again.
I was gonna say, is there any way you could drop me a pin on Apple and let me know how to get there? I haven't been there in so long.
Yes.
I don't know where it's located.
Like when you walk in the door, I get to say, "I'm sorry, we do not know this lady. New
Her
gym,
swipe
who dis?"
card no longer works.
Yeah,
It's been
click.
that long.
Exactly. And then I'll do the same thing. But I also want to disclose that I do take peptides. And so I do take a peptide that also aids in muscle synthesis above and beyond creatine. And so I always want to be transparent with everybody. I don't want to set unrealistic expectations. But in addition to lifting quite heavier than Jonnie, I also take sermorelin. Sermorelin? Yes. I
Well,
can never pronounce that one.
Let me know. We gotta talk about this too because
Let's do a peptides episode. I mean,
Let's do
why
it.
not? That is the future. And again,
We'll check
that
back
is
in.
it's not a PED as far as like steroids and illegal type of stuff goes. This is all biohacking. It's all above the counter, and you just got to know proper dosing and do things safely.
Awesome.
So that'll be a future episode that we talk about.
Yeah.
And the other thing to think about is a lot of athletes, personal trainers, fitness professionals take peptides. And so when they show you these results and they're talking about the food and the discipline and all that stuff, chances are pretty good they're also on peptides. So just please keep that in mind. I think that it's so important to be transparent with those kind of results so that, again, you can just set realistic expectations. Just my 2 cents there. Just my 2 cents.
Awesome.
All right. Great stuff, Jonnie. Great questions. Man, you came prepared. You were like a student today. I'm so proud of you.
Because I hear so much and it's buzzing. It's all over the place. And I'm like, instead of just calling my BFF, hello, I don't want to bother you with that stuff because let's face it, I'm not paying you.
You pay me. You pay me with heart hugs.
In love.
And love.
It buzzes and then it's trending, it's viral, it's all over the place. And it was like French. I stepped back and I'm like, I don't know about all that, so I'm glad we got to talk about that because I know I can't be the only one feeling like that.
You're so right. And that's something that I sit down with a lot of clients and they go, what supplements do I need to be on? And I think that's so important, a distinction to make because a lot of people don't need supplements. But I think protein and creatine are the two that should certainly be addressed.
Awesome.
So I'm glad we got to take care of that today.
Yeah.
Well done, my dear.
Thank you.
Well done. All right.
Okay,
we're going to wrap
friends.
it up here. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you for your patience. This episode is going to be popped out tomorrow morning. We're cutting it down to the wire. We love a good deadline. That's how we roll. So thank you, as always, for your support and for joining us. And we're going to have show notes down in the description. And if you would like any more information, you know where I'm at for coaching. If you want more help, if you want a more personalized plan, nutrition, workouts, that's what I do. So let's do it. And if
I
you'd
am
like to
not
be
good
part,
at anything. If you just want to be friends, hit up your your girl.
that
Holler
is
at your
not
girl.
accurate. If you would like a photographer, that would be Jonnie.
That's
Okay.
Nicole.
So
Yeah.
there are a lot of great things that we can offer in addition to just support and friendship. We're just here for you. We love you guys, and we are so darn grateful for you. We are having so much fun with this project. So thank you for being a part of it.
Oh.
All right. As always, we love you like crazy. Your light, your darkness, and all of your creatine phosphate.
Yes. Happy
Till next week.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you're lying in the shadows sound now. You're awfully quiet.